Greetings, Doctor. The purpose of the video is to introduce the CISG and its relevance. In the next videos, I will give my own opinion after having studied your lectures during this period. The United Nations Convention on Contract for the International Sales of Goods is a pivotal international treaty that provides a uniform legal framework for the international sale of goods. Adopted in the 1980s and entering into force in 1988, the CISG facilitates international trade by offering predictable rules and reducing legal barriers, with over 90 contracting states representing a significant portion of global trade. The CISG issues a consistent legal environment for cross-border transactions, reducing the risks associated with differing national laws. The principle of party autonomy in international contracts definition. Party autonomy is a fundamental principle in contract law that allows parties to fairly negotiate and settle terms of their agreement. This principle is particularly important in international trade. Their parties come from different legal backgrounds and have varying commercial practice. Party authority under the CISG enables business to tailor their contracts to their specific needs and expectations, proving flexibility and enhancing the efficiency of international trade agreements. Importance: flexible in cross-border transaction. Party authority allows parties to adapt their contracts to different legal and commercial environments. Enhancement of contract applicability. Atomized contracts are more likely to meet the specific needs of the party involved. Reduction of conflict of laws. By allowing parties to set their own terms, potential legal conflicts are minimized. CISG provisions on party authority. Article 6. Freedom to exclude or modify the convention. Article 6 of the CISG explicitly recognizes the principle of party autonomy. The parties may exclude the application of this conversation or subject to Article 12 derogate from or vary the effect of any of its provisions. This article empowers parties to either completely exclude the CISG or modify its provisions to better suit their contractual needs. The flexibility created by Article 6 underscores the Convention's respect for the parties' freedom to structure their contractual relationship as they see fit. Article 12 limitations on formal requirements. Article 12 imposes specific impositions on the parties' ability to modify the convention's provisions regarding the form of the contract. Any provision of Article 12, Article 29, or Party 2 of this convention that allows a contractor of sale or its modification or termination by agreement or any offer, acceptance or other in the direction of intention to be made in any form other than in writing does not apply where any party has its place of business in a contracting state which has made a declaration under the Article 96 of this convention. Article 12 ensures that in um, jurisdictions that have made an Article 96 declaration, the formal requirements cannot be direct, derogate from by agreement between the parties. This provision highlights the balance the CISG strikes between respecting party autonomy and adhering to mandatory national legal requirements. Article 7 interpretation of the Convention. Article 7 provides the framework for interpreting the CISD, emphasizing its international character and the need for uniformity in the international this convention regard is to be had to its international character and to the need to promote uniformity in its application and the observers and good faith in national trade. Its article matters that the CISG be interpreted in a manner that promotes consistency across different jurisdiction, ensuring trackability and stability in international sales transactions. The emphasis on good faith aligns with general principles of contract law, encouraging fair and honest dealings. Article 9 Usages and practice. Article 9 recognize the relevance of trade usages and established practice between the parties. The parties are bound by any usages to which they have agreed and by any practice which they have established between themselves. The parties are considered, unless otherwise agreeing to have implicitly made applicable to their contract or its formulation usages of which the parties know or ought to have known and which in international trade in widely known to and regular observed by parties to contracts of the top involved in the particular trade concerned. This provision enhances contractual flexibility by allowing parties to incorporate industry-specific practice and usages, thereby adopting the CISD framework to their particular commercial context. Case law illustrating party authority. In this case, on summary, a contract for the sale of oil, the contract explicitly exclude the application of the CISG opting inside for English law. The court upheld this exclusion, emphasizing the principle of party authority enshrined in Article 6 of the CISG. Next case, on summary addressed issues considering the modification of contraction teams under the CISG for the sales of industry equipment. The court upheld the modification, demonstrating the CISG's flexibility in allowing party to tailor their contractual obligations. This case summary, the case addressed whether the parties had excluded the CISG by changing to apply Italian law. The court concluded that they made reference to the law of Italy did not consider it a clear exclusion of the CISG. Next case. The case involved the erosion of trade usages and the CISG in a contract for the sale of chemicals. The court recognized the validity of this usage under Article 9, reaffirming the parties' ability to incorporate establishment in industry practice into their contract. The case involved a contract for the sale of medical equipment and the modification of CISG provisions. The court adhered the modification, emphasized the conversation's flexible and respectful party authority. Scholarly commentary and analyze. Journal not in a uniform law for international sales under the 1980 United Nations Convention highlights that the CISG's design facilitates adaptability, allowing parties to modify provisions to suit their specific commercial needs. Hanald argues that the flexible offered by the CISG is key to its success and widespread acceptance. Interval censor in her commentary on the CISG emphasized that the principle of party autonomy is fundamental for the convention's infection. Spencer points out that by allowing parties to deviate from default rules, the CISG accommodates diverse legal systems and commercial partners, fostering international trade. Practical implication for contract drafting. Areas of negotiate. When drafting contracts under the CISG, parties often negotiation can contractual areas such as delivery teams modifying different role deliver obligation to better fit logistical arrangement. Risk of loss, adjusting the part at vault risk, transfer from seller to buyer, dealing with special commercial realities. Remedies for breach. Customizing remedies for breach of contract, including damages and specific prefers acting Article 28 for inspection and notice requirements, establishing specific time frames and procedures for the inspection of goods and notes of no committee. Violent exclusion and modification to ensure that any exclusion or modifications of the CISG are wide and enforceable. Parties should explicitly state exclude or modifications clearly, article any exclude or variations in the contract. Consider consider Article 12 declarations be modified of any Article 96 declaration by the parties respective states in cooperate relevant usages and parties reflect establishment trade usage and parties in the contract to align with industry standards. The CISG provides a comprehensive framework for international sales contracts while emphasizing the principle of party autonomy by allowing parties significant freedom to tailor their contractual terms. The CISG fosters flexibility and commercial practicality. The balance between uniform and flexible is control to the convention's success, making it a value instrument. International commercial law, through careful drafting and consideration of relevant CISG provisions, parties can effectively navigate the complexities of international trade, ensure that their agreement and both legally sound and commercially advertence belong is the literature I cited, and this concludes my video. Thanks for watching.